No, podcasts are no fun. They're the worst. Stop.
Stop this. I want to get off this ride.
I want to stay on. Boys here.
Lore Boys here.
Lore Boys here. I'm going to be your host, Ethan Palmer, joined with...
Peter O'Donohue.
Who is also joined with...
Yeah, exactly. We busted him out of prison twice now.
Oh, yeah. Busted him out, brought him back, busted him out.
Man can't keep you down now that we've been extradited to a country without laws.
James Robert John Miller. Here I am.
Hey.
And he's sewn himself to Peter, and I've sewn myself to Peter.
Yes.
So Peter is the center of a beautiful Lore Boys delicious sandwich.
It is very good.
It's more of a human caterpillar.
I have the darkest hair.
Well, a caterpillar sandwich, I mean, tomato, potato, am I right?
Yeah, the caterpillars are delicious.
Yeah. The more legs in my sandwich, the better.
It's the veal of the bug world.
It's the eel of the bug world.
A veal.
A veal.
Oh.
Because they're babies.
Also like the eel, if you like smoked eel.
I never really consider that. Like, caterpillars are all babies.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You know what's
An
cool?
exploding meme.
Yeah. You know what's really cool about being a person?
Tell us, Peter.
No cocoons.
Speak for yourself.
Yeah, you think? I think that's the uncoolest part about being a person. Not to know butt you here, but no butt.
Yeah.
It would be pretty awesome if we all cocooned ourselves for like a third of our lives.
We took improv together. No butt it should have been stricken from your vocabulary.
We kind of like
Malaria.
cocoon in the womb, you know, like at the beginning.
Yeah.
We did cocoon a bit there, yeah. We sleep for a third of our lives, so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I only do it in the field position with saran wrap. That's the only way I can get it.
Greased saran wrap.
Yeah. Saran wrap that I pooped out myself.
Yeah.
Do caterpillars poop out their webs or do they vomit them out? I don't know.
What side of a caterpillar does the silk come out
Does
of?
the silk come out of? Yeah.
Yeah.
Crunch at us with an
Dude,
answer.
caterpillars?
Tell us, caterpillars.
What's some similarities between orcs and caterpillars? They're both green?
They're
a lot
both
of them?
green.
Yeah.
We're not talking about orcs today at all.
Okay.
In any way, shape, or form. I love that you tried to get there.
Yeah.
Attempted segue.
I did tell you we were talking about one race from the Warhammer 40K universe.
I thought it was a book, to be honest. I did not know it was a race.
Oh, the
You
thing
just
that I told you?
Yeah.
Oh, what the?
Necron.
That's it.
Necron, yeah.
That's a Necronomicon.
Yeah.
Necronomicon was
that's
the book that you were
Evil
thinking
Dead.
of. Yeah.
And
but no,
possibly H.P. Lovecraft.
it's the...
Necronomicon
yeah.
Ex Mortis is from Evil Dead.
Yeah. H.P. Lovecraft's compendium is called the Necronomicon.
Okay.
I don't know if he gave it that name or if like a publisher like said in the year 1995 when they compiled all his works.
Yeah.
Said we're gonna call it the Necronomicon. I don't know.
His editor was.
I
Just
don't
like,
know, Peter.
The editor was just like, "Listen, HP, you got to get all this racism out of here. So we're just gonna call it the Necronomicon." Which it's close enough. Have you guys read any of his stuff and how fucked up he is?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a lunatic.
It's like bad writing, I think.
Yeah,
really
Ethan
cool,
thinks
really
it's
creative
over-
world building, and
Yeah.
really
No,
dry, boring
I was
writing.
just talking about how much of a blatant racist
Yeah,
H.P.
yeah.
Lovecraft was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that was my little tangent aside.
No love for squids, that guy.
No love
Nope.
for squids, yeah, that's it. Or squid people.
Or squid people.
Or people squids.
Yeah.
Squid.
None of them.
Or people that didn't look like him.
So Warhammer 40K,
Yeah.
for the listeners at home who do not know,
Less racist.
is, I mean, lore-wise, no.
Okay, good.
I guess humans turned their racism outwards.
Man
against
after my own seven hearts.
Every single
Oh.
other intelligent species in the universe, or in the galaxy, I guess, because all the lore takes place only in the Milky Way galaxy,
Oh.
which is explained in the fiction. But it's also explained by science because the nearest galaxy is very, very, very far away.
Yeah, and Mass Effect Andromeda sucks. So
Yeah, exactly. We don't talk about it.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
We tried, and we failed.
Yeah, 2.5 million light years would not be enough distance between me and that game.
No.
You know what I mean?
No. I played the free 10-hour trial, and it is still in my Origin library, and it still says over 7 hours remaining. And I'm like, no.
So Warhammer, though, it's been around for a long time, right? Like 30 years, something like that?
1987. So
That's longer than I've been
31
around.
years
Yeah.
now.
Same. It's 4 years older than all of us.
Yeah, 3.5 years younger than I. I'm
Yeah.
35.
I am the old one.
But 1987. It was created. It came off the back of the Warhammer tabletop game. So this is a tabletop game you get little miniatures, and they have stats, and you build an army based on each miniature has a point value too, and you can hit like you do 200 point armies against each other, or 500 point armies against each other. So you can always scale up, and you can have as big battles as you want, as long as they're even.
Yeah,
it's all balanced.
As long as the
but they had to put it into space.
But they did have to put it into space with Warhammer 40K.
Yeah,
takes place in the year
40,000.
40,000. Peter,
that's
got
way
it.
in the future.
That is way, way, way in the future.
K is the Roman numeral for 1,000.
Kilo.
Yeah.
40 kilo years.
Right, it's
40 kilo years.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure that's where that comes from. Latin voice.
Yeah.
I don't know if kilo is Latin, honestly. It might be Greek. Who knows?
It's one or the other, definitely.
One or the other. One of those languages, probably.
I'm trying to think what my grandparents say. I know I have that thin crust shit to make spanakopita out of. It's called filo.
Oh. You just said a bunch of words that don't mean anything to me.
Sorry. Well,
he's saying he has crust. He's saying he has crust, and since the crust is called Greek and it sounds like kilo,
that's exactly it.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It sounds like science.
I'm sorry I betrayed my ethnic background. If anybody's out there.
It sounded like you wanted to philo me, and I got a little uncomfortable.
I'm gonna philo you up.
So
because you got thin white skin.
What are we talking about, though?
We're getting ready to party like it's 39,999. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, we're turning up.
That would be a good year to party. But so in the future, mankind has pervaded the Milky Way galaxy. Turns out there's a bunch of other alien species in the Milky Way. We don't really like any of them. We even in the future don't like some of our own people.
Who's the God Emperor?
What do you mean in the future?
The God Emperor is the leader of the Space Marines.
Okay.
Or the Space Marines.
Is he the Chaos Marines?
No, the Chaos Space Marines worship the...
Blood God.
No, the Chaos Gods is what they're called.
Who's the Blood God?
Blood for the Blood God. That's
all right, this is a lot...
Conan, I think?
Yeah. Okay, start slow, though. Where are we?
We're in the future.
Okay.
We're not really going to talk about humans this episode.
We're 38,000 years in the future.
I could have spoken about humans in this episode, but I chose not to.
Mankind is the worst.
Mankind seriously turns into this cult that worships the battle, and they have all these fucking warrior priests, and we just go around fucking killing everyone.
Cool.
We have swords that are also chainsaws, which are apparently very effective in the future, more so than guns. Don't know how that happens.
They still have their boltors or bolt rifles or whatever.
Yeah, they all have. They do have guns as well, but chain swords is like your elite soldiers have the chain swords.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, on different atmospheres and stuff, maybe the guns wouldn't react right with the whatever gas is out there.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, maybe your gun would just explode and blast your face off.
Okay, you don't know what the pressure is on every planet. Maybe all your ammo is just going to explode as soon as you get there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they are all wearing power armor too. So maybe it's
the Spice Marines.
Your gun isn't as effective against power armor, but this chainsword is good against power armor. You know. So, and you could survive getting shot a couple times because you have your own power armor.
And 7 hearts.
Yeah, exactly. You have 7 HP.
We're not talking about humans. Sorry.
We're not talking about humans, but it's still pretty interesting. And something interesting to say, this came out in 1987. The hit video game StarCraft, which came out in 1996. I'm looking at James because he did the episode.
Yeah, I think it
96, 97, 98.
Then or earlier. It was then or earlier, I feel like.
Around then. It's as far as visualizing what Space Marines look like it's StarCraft pretty much ripped off 3 of the races from Warhammer 40K, almost verbatim.
Well, I know it's the human. It's that humans are Terrans, and the Tyranids are
the Zerg.
Zerg
are Tyranids.
And then there's the Protoss or some other thing.
Protoss are the Eldar.
They're the space elves,
links, right? No mouths. They feel heights of emotions that nobody else can feel. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, we've established earlier that Blizzard's not one for original ideas, but for using pre-established concepts and being very talented with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did a good job.
They done good.
Yeah. I guess you could say that Warcraft was almost a ripoff of Warhammer as well.
Yeah.
Nobody would say
almost
that,
to the name.
Yeah. Or D&D more than anything.
In case any Blizzard employees are listening, nobody would say that.
I still don't have a Battle.net account, I'll say that.
So, humanity's turned into this battle worshipping cult, which fits our MO. But let's talk about another race called the Necron.
Yes.
Who are a playable race in game.
Are they undead?
They are undead. Yeah, they live in robot bodies now, but not always. We'll figure out how they got there. You can picture they have really like a lot of Egyptian motifs.
Nice.
They're led by things called pharaohs.
Are they cats?
They have a lot of like ziggurats and like one of their units is like a mobile crypt with guns on it, basically called a ziggurat.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and we'll find out why they have such like a death feel about them. Their faces, because they're souls in the bodies of machines in game, and their faces are kind of like coffin shaped. And
cool.
Like death is like the edgiest of the races.
There's a weird fucking movie, called Wizards by a guy called Ralph Bashki, who's a lunatic, and he has a robot that's basically filled with haunted gas called Necron 99.
Oh yeah,
and this is like from the mid '80s as well.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I wonder which came first.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the Wizards by Ralph Bashki. This is a fucking weird movie, by the way.
Yeah.
So this
like
movie.
Necro. Come on,
no,
just Necron 99.
Okay,
Necron 99, who is a robot.
And this sounds exactly like the Necron look.
This film takes place a million years in the future.
Yeah.
Where atomic bombs killed everybody on Earth, elves and dwarves came back, and then some evil wizard finds a film reel with videos of Hitler on it.
Oh yeah.
Goes crazy, and then rebuilds like airplanes and attacks the elves.
Nice.
Oh, it's lunacy. Look up Wizards.
We'll watch it after the show. Yeah, so I don't know. Warhammer 40K was created in 1987.
Yeah.
But I don't know if the Necrons were part of it then.
I'm going to quietly Google this right now.
And we're on 6th or 7th edition. When I played 10 years ago, it was 5th edition. And I know we're at least 6th edition now. We might be 7th edition.
Okay.
I don't know. But that would have been 1st edition. So there's no guarantee that all the races were even a part of it back then.
Okay.
So when we're talking about the Necrons, where did it all start? 13.8 billion years ago.
Okay.
Which, who knows what happened?
Big Bang.
The Big Bang.
Just a quick note here. So Necron 99, the robot in Wizards, the film is from 1977. So it is not unreasonable to believe
definitely a precursor
that they may have been inspired by a weird rotoscope film.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's cool.
Wait, how many years ago was the Big Bang?
13.8 billion.
It was in 1961.
Yeah, 1961. It was 16 years before the release of Necrons 99 or Wizards.
It was in 1977 when Ralph Bashki released Wizards.
Yeah, wow. 16 years after the birth of the universe. Which is weird because it's after Hitler, so
So wait, they're born. They were born at the Big Bang.
They weren't, but their story begins.
Oh well, you could say that about anything.
Our story begins with the creation of molecules.
Buddy, then narrow the scope a little bit.
So long before the first planets had formed and cooled, the very first truly self-aware beings emerged. Their thoughts encased within the lines of force produced by the plasma and electromagnetic flares of the stars themselves.
Cool.
In later times, these entities would come to be known as the Catan. But early in their existence, they were nothing like the malevolent beings they would eventually become.
Oh, okay. Wait a second. Are they like space ghosts?
These are kind of like space ghosts, but ones which span they're bigger than planets. They wrap themselves around stars to feed off the energy of stars.
Aw, nothing like hugging a nice warm star.
So toasty.
Yeah, exactly.
They absorb the energy of the star to feed themselves.
It's like big Dyson spheres?
Yeah, like star vampires. So eventually these star vampires grew diaphanous wings and learned to propel themselves through the universe.
I have a question. What does diaphanous mean?
Like a bug's wings.
Oh, okay.
Like beautiful,
see-through?
Translucent, and delicate, and...
Oh, so they're fancy star vampires.
Exactly.
Now. They're fucking delicate little capes.
Yeah. Beings of pure energy, they pass by and through planets with little thought for the weak energy the matter contained. So they can't interact with the physical world.
Cool.
They fly right through planets. They feel energy.
They're kind of like that. What's that particle?
They're just chasing their bliss, man.
That people tried to
Higgs
capture.
boson?
Nope. That
neutrinos.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. They're they're made of neutrinos basically, but they're so tiny and spaced apart they pass through matter.
Yeah, I'm surprised I got that on 2.
Yeah, silver medal.
Yeah, exactly.
Peter, go ahead. Tell us all about neutrinos.
Well, they have to detect them. To detect them, they have to go deep underground.
Yeah, they have
get rid of all the other noise of all the particles of the universe. They go deep enough underground because neutrinos are small enough they pass through everything.
Yeah.
So they can detect neutrinos like a kilometer under the earth.
They have this,
not that far, but
they have like this big sphere that's not even like really an exaggeration of a kilometer. They have like this big sphere full of some kind of liquid that they just is in complete darkness, and it is built in a lab way the fuck underground Europe somewhere, I think. And they managed to photograph a neutrino like once, and it's just this tiny particle that passes through everything because it is tiny enough to pass through the space in molecules or atoms.
It's so
I
small.
might be completely wrong.
It's so small, like we could just like shoot ourselves through space without gravity because you wouldn't be attracted to things, but you probably wouldn't hit anything if you went through space, right?
Yeah, because you'd pass between atoms.
You almost certainly wouldn't hit anything if I shot myself as big as I am.
Yeah.
If I shot myself into space,
we are
there's
neutrinos.
Almost a nothing chance that I would hit something.
Yeah. Neutrinos is to the Earth as we are to space.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So they can hit something, is what you're saying. So
they
do
can,
have
but they
mass.
usually don't.
All this high-minded sci-fi Warhammer 40K, so smart.
Some science boys are gonna get at us and be like, "You got everything wrong."
Yeah.
I don't.
Nothing you said was right.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come at me sideways, science boys.
So the star gods were at first unable to interact with the physical world, only with the energies connected to it, though as they eventually would develop a thirst, a hunger for the life force of the galaxy's denizens, they had to find a way.
A thirst, nay, a hunger.
What's the galaxy's denizens? Like Burger
People.
King?
So at this point...
What?
I don't know. Like, what's a denizen?
People. Like people who live somewhere.
Yeah.
Residents. Okay.
Yeah, kind of like a resident, yeah. Resident. It's
the denizens of this building are you and your World of Tanks neighbor.
Yeah, do me a favor, use smaller words.
Okay, you got it.
Got the star clouds got
Yeah.
real hungry and they want to eat people.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, thanks.
Exactly.
That makes sense.
So at this point, the denizens would probably include something race known only as the Old Ones.
Okay. Are they ancient robots? I swear to fucking God, if I have to kill this beer, I'm going to be mad at you.
They are ancient lizard people.
Thank God.
Oh,
So
lizard
we're good,
people.
we're good. Another classic lore boys meme. The lizards have struck again.
Does lizards ancient? Classic lore boys.
They're only known as the Old Ones because they died out like 60 million years ago.
Fine. Are they dinosaurs?
From like our time now. So
okay.
I guess they're kind of like dinosaurs. There's not much known about them because they went extinct 60 million years ago. So all the information that humanity has on them,
fossils,
we gained from the Eldar, which are like the Protoss-like race,
because
they were kind of around at the end of the Old Ones era,
yeah,
and they have some records from back then. Go ahead.
Quick question,
yes,
because we with our humble monthly subscription, you got Dawn of War 3, right?
I did, yes.
And the people with the white armor are the Eldar,
the
right?
Eldar are the Eldar, the orcs, and the humans.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to know. Because I remember that trailer was awesome, and then when we got it, I don't like RTS, so when you took it, I didn't give a shit, but I was curious about it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. It's good as an RTS. Not my favorite RTS. But...
Oh, so wait, where the Eldar is Warhammer though, right?
The Eldar is Warhammer. Yes.
Okay, and
orcs, orcs are Warhammer as well.
Eldar, the ancient lizard people. Sorry, I'm getting lost.
Those are the old ones.
Are known only as the old ones.
Old ones.
They are not playable in game or anything.
And the Eldar
are playable in game.
They're
playable in game, but they are also lizard people.
No, they're like the Protoss.
They're like psychic elves, kind of.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're not Protoss.
Okay.
They're not. Yeah, not Protoss.
Yeah.
This is a big world, and we're just getting into it. I know
it is
nothing
huge, and we're there's going to be a lot of things which I kind of touch on, which would deserve far and away their own episode, like the Eldar, like the Old Ones, because this isn't the Old Ones episode, but they could probably have their own episode as well.
Yeah.
Even though it's like there's so little known about them, the wiki page is still like 14 pages long. The humanoid race that would come to be known as the Necrons began their existence under a fearsome, scourging star in the far reaches of the galaxy known as the Halo Stars region. Billions of standard years before mankind evolved on Terra. Assailed at every moment by ionizing solar winds and intense radiation storms, the flesh and blood Necrontyr became a morbid people whose precarious lifespans were riven by constant loss.
Cool.
Ooh, I like that.
So this is like their origin story. They were born in next to a nuclear. They were born in Chernobyl, basically.
Yeah.
Their entire people had to grow up.
Oddly enough, the amount of there's going to be 2 episodes in a row that we do in the future, and 2 80s tabletop games that refer to Earth as Terra. Because spoilers, next episodes, BattleTech
or BattleTech, sorry.
and Terra is
that one's
that again is I think the Greek. No,
Ice. Just so you know, the podcast does like Ice. Ice is again moved closer to Peter and is pawing him.
Pawing him for attention.
Yeah,
I'm working.
Baby. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes. I gotta get this done.
It's like, don't ever ask me about my business. It's okay. I'm working. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm putting food on this table.
Yeah, put food in your bowl.
Put food
God
in your
damn it,
bowl.
I need to do this.
exactly.
So, mankind knows little of these Necron precursors, known as the Necron tier. All we know is that their lives were short and uncertain, their bodies blighted and consumed at an early age by the terrible cancers and other illnesses linked to the high levels of ionizing radiation.
Wait a second. So they never adapted. They were born in front of basically down the street from an entire star, and their bodies, they lived to 21 and were just blasted apart by solar radiation?
Like, a lot of them were. Some of them lived past it, but like the death rates like around 20 were probably like 60-70% of people didn't make it past
awful.
that.
Yeah,
And not only did they not adapt, they will move away from the star and still never adapt. It's part of their genetics is this terrible life, these terrible lives cut short by cancers and flesh-eating diseases.
I once lived near a Walmart and I thought that was bad with the type of people walking by.
There was enough flesh-eating disease in that Walmart.
Exactly.
To fucking, with this dying star.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess that's why they eventually encase themselves in robot bodies, is because they're too weak and useless.
That is more or less why they eventually encase themselves in
robots.
Robot bodies. The bodies are made of what's called as oh dang, I forgot.
Necrosmium.
It's very close.
I can make up dumb words.
Lead writer at Warhammer 40K.
Yeah, Peter O'Donoghue joins us on the podcast. Yeah. I got a quick question here.
Necrodermis. There it is.
The skin.
Dead skin.
Yeah.
Okay. Or death skin. I don't really know.
It's living metal, is what it's called in game.
But isn't Necro dead?
That's the name of the magazine that would also publish Death Skin.
So you say
blog.
You say, aren't they dead? But when mankind first encountered them, they're made of metal and they're alive. Mm-hmm. They call this necromundus or necrodermis. Sorry.
Okay.
Now you got me saying.
They call it necromundus, like
necrodermis.
Dead world.
Yeah. So they call it necrodermis, and mankind meets these living robots. So it would be living metal, right?
Okay.
It would be what it translates to.
These aren't ancient robots, right? These are current robots?
They're not robots at this point. These are flesh people.
Okay.
Now.
They're meat boys.
They're flesh people who die very young due to cancers and flesh-eating bacteria.
Right.
I don't know why flesh people are so funny to me.
These are flesh people.
Yeah, these are flesh people, not metal people. Yeah.
Explain!
So now if you're like me...
I'm always happy to make you smile, James.
Now if you're like me, you're probably thinking that these motherfuckers need Jesus, right?
Or a better planet.
Well, we got an entire colony of fucking lepers here. Like,
oh yeah,
we need some divine intervention.
They quite actually need the literal.
And you guys,
literal biblical interpretation of Jesus.
And we have talked about gods already on this podcast.
Is Jesus part of Warhammer? Oh, please say yes.
Jesus was a star god. Yeah.
Okay, so
born 13.8 billion years ago.
Who the fuck was it? No, we already did do one where Jesus was canon. It was fucking Alien. Are we bringing it back?
Yeah, we're bringing it back. No, this is canon with Event Horizon. Remember?
Okay, you did talk about this.
Yeah. We'll get. I thought about doing that on this episode, but to set that one up, there's so many other things I'd have to set up first that I'm not sure I could get it all done in one episode. But we'll piece a couple pieces together. This one, maybe the next Warhammer episode, piece a bit more. Then we'll do the Event Horizon continuity.
Okay. We've got 5 seasons setting up to a very unsatisfying climax.
To anyone who's listened is straight through, Alien might sound close to you. This feels like a year ago to me. It feels forever. I don't really remember much of that yet.
Jesus is canon in the Alien universe. That's all you need to remember.
That's all I remember from that.
We had the Last Supper art, and I spent 6 hours on it. It was great.
I think that is still my favorite of all the RPGs.
I think so too. Yeah,
is the engineer as Jesus with all the xenomorphs at the Last Supper.
Alien apostles.
Yeah, we need a table for 26, but you're only 13 people. But we're all gonna sit on one side.
Yeah.
The classic meme. Da Vinci, you idiot.
It would make for a very interesting thing.
That's true.
There's
the table totally.
But imagine there's just a guy on a Roscoe scooter in front of Jesus and you can't see him. Maybe had a really fat guy in front of him.
The Roscoe scooter is the mobility scooter for like obese people. Holy fuck, that's so funny.
Yeah, you got to do it that way.
That's such a good name for a mobility scooter.
Yeah,
Roscoe's. So, Necron-tier cities were morbid places, built with the knowledge that most of the things living there would be dead shortly. Ziggurats, tombs, and sepulchres dominated the architecture. The living were thought of as no more than temporary in comparison with the deceased.
Aren't they filled with like eternal star ghosts though?
No.
What?
Have I mentioned the Star Ghosts?
What the fuck do they have to do with anything?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay. I, for some reason, thought
You
the
jumped
star
the gun.
ghosts were in
No.
weak, useless flesh bodies, and then they eventually were just like, but what's better than neat metal?
No.
And then there were star ghosts and robots.
So we have Star Ghosts
Fuck.
that can't interact with the physical universe.
I don't know why I made the jump there. I'm sorry.
yeah.
Simultaneously...
Did you make that jump?
No, I thought that
No,
Star
James is
Ghosts.
not an idiot, Peter.
Okay,
I
never mind.
thought the Star Ghosts were the long past descendants of Necrons.
I think that was a lizardman.
No. So,
Okay.
we had Star Ghosts, the
Right.
Star Gods, excuse me, or
Yeah.
Star Vampires, or Catan,
Or neutrinos.
as they will come to be known.
Yep.
And now we have this, these Catan want to be able to interact with the physical world.
Right.
Because because they draw all their energy, their food, their sustenance off of stars, the energy off of stars, the plasma.
Yeah.
And
So
they
they need
want to
a-
be able to draw life force out of beings.
Okay.
But to do this, they need a physical form.
Right.
Put a pin in it. We're coming back to that point.
Okay.
Now we have...
I did not put a pin in it.
No, I
I went directly into the next
Yeah,
The
that's
Necrons are their paintbrush for their stealing life. They're like it's the medium that they use to.
Maybe they get there.
Okay, let's see.
We also have these old ones. Who knows?
Yo, are we going into robot vampires? That'd be cool.
Robo-vampire.
that's
Robo-vampire.
Last week you were talking about conquistador vampires riding dinosaurs.
Exactly,
Vampires
yeah.
get so much cooler.
yeah.
Yo, quick question. Is Warhammer just the... Warhammer 40K, is it the future of Warhammer?
That I cannot attest to.
Okay. Tweet at me.
I played Warhammer 40K. I've never played Warhammer, and I don't know any of the lore behind it.
I have some figurines from the Mage Knight lizard man army called the Shift.
Okay.
And I've always admired the lizard men in Warhammer.
Yeah.
And for some reason I was thinking they might have been the old ones or something,
okay.
because they have like an Aztec frog god or something.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
lizard
Man.
people have the frog gods, yeah.
Yeah.
The lizard people in Warhammer, the original Warhammer, were probably the coolest race, I think.
I was always in them, but
Or the Skaven, but
Well, we're talking about the dead folks.
that's
today.
one for another time.
Yeah.
Peter's got me all nerding out over here. I fucking love this shit. So, driven by necessity, the Necron-tier escaped their crucible prison and struck out for the stars, hopeful of carving an empire in which they could realize their species' potential, free from the lethal energies of their birth star. So now they're striking out. They're like, fuck this. Like, we've got space travel. We've been dying under this ionizing sun for like the entirety of our species' history. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Fair.
You know what I mean?
They've been in an abusive relationship with their star for a long time,
Yeah.
and now they're on their way out.
So they use what were called stasis crypts. So
Okay.
so like literally like they're naming their ships after crypts because
No, right up there in Walt Disney, like he's in there too.
yeah, exactly. Well, he's in a stasis pod, but they have stasis pods.
They
and
take Walt Disney with them.
They do.
They're like, no, we're taking him.
yeah, well, you got to bring Walt. I mean, he paid for the trip already.
Yeah.
So, they just call them
that's
crypts
a pretty good
because
one.
they just call them crypts because like this death motif
Yeah.
pervades their entire culture because everybody dies so young.
Yeah.
Ships,
When you die when you're 25, everybody gets pretty used to it. So
and in ships clad in living metal known as necrodermis, built to survive millennia-long journeys across the universe.
So what's it made of? Is it made of?
Necrodermis.
Is that its own
It's
element?
unobtainium, adamantium,
Okay.
fantasy, sci-fi element, whatever you want to call
It's
it.
the Force. It's plot hole
Yeah.
filler.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
exactly.
I'm starting to think like I left the podcast for Death in the Family, and I'm starting to think Ethan's trying to rub it in.
It's a good one to come back on, right, James?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's talk about coffins.
Yeah, exactly.
Hang on a second. Somebody very quickly pour a beer into their crotch.
Yeah, exactly.
We fucking do
That's on me, right?
Yeah. Do it.
So slowly they begin to build their empire, ruled by something called the Triarch, a council of three overlords known as Pharaohs. Speaking is hard, and I'm not always good at it.
We've all had very long days.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the best part about our new schedule is? recording on Fridays when we've all worked for 5 days.
Yeah,
And they're
exactly.
just like, do you want to get drunk with your buddies and talk for 2 hours?
Especially, I often drink and stream on Thursdays. I didn't this week,
Yeah.
but I just drank and didn't stream.
Yeah.
Which begs the question, why not stream?
Yeah.
I drank and did my
I
laundry.
said earlier in this episode, I'll correct myself already. I said the rulers were called pharaohs, but they're called pharaons.
Pharaons, okay.
Yeah, the robot pharaohs.
Tomato potatoes, robot pharaohs, basically.
Tomato, whatever.
The head of the Triarch was someone known as the Silent King. He's known that because he doesn't address the people directly. He addresses the two other pharaons, and they deal with the people. They deal with the day-to-day. He's big picture. He's got his two sub-managers to deal with the...
Right.
We're also prophets, I guess.
Yeah.
Are they?
Profit, managers, business, capitalism.
Whoa, I was going there, but you got there.
Pyramid
Yeah.
scheme.
Pyramid schemes.
Yeah. Yeah, because Egypt.
Yeah.
Because Egypt.
Ziggurat.
Ziggurat.
Ziggurats are the step pyramids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stepped pyramid.
Stepped.
Yeah.
The Aztec ones.
So
I think.
the final days of the Necrontyr Empire occurred during the reign of
Emotep.
a silent king. Your tep got me there. A silent king known as Shadek,
Oh.
the last of the silent kings.
Shadowtep?
He's a shoddy king.
Yeah.
So sometime during their slow expansion, and it was particularly slow, I mentioned the old gods earlier.
Yeah.
They discovered
Oh, you're bringing it back.
they discovered something known as the Immaterium, or the Warp, or there's a ton of names for it.
It's the Mass Effect thing that makes them go through space, probably.
It is. It's also it's like another dimension that they travel through,
This is where it comes back to Event Horizon.
which is where it comes back to Event Horizon, because the whole thing is they think the ship, the Event Horizon in the movie, found the Warp.
Okay, yeah, because in Event Horizon, because you had mentioned this earlier, so I'll go into this because I've seen the movie a bunch of times.
Yeah.
They do kind of like the Star Trek burrow through space sort of thing.
Exactly.
But the place in between the two wormholes in Event Horizon, and I guess in Warhammer 40K as well, is like a blood-drenched BDSM barbed wire torture dimension where
absolutely
everybody fucks maggots out of their children.
And because
It's not about the destination. It's about the journey.
Yeah. It's like,
Exactly.
yeah, exactly. Explain how you go crazy.
if James played, he'd play Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
All they are is people who basically live in the Warp and worship the gods from the Warp.
Good God.
Now, the Warp is basically powered by living forces. It exists wherever there is life in the universe. So this is why there's been no travel outside of the Milky Way galaxy. Because the space between galaxies, there's no life.
Nightmarish.
And
Yeah.
it would take, hundreds of millions of years to get anywhere without this warp, which doesn't exist out between the reaches of the galaxy.
Right. And if you go between the warp, you have to deal with Samuel carving his eyes out. And
Yeah, exactly.
you guys, everybody has a blood
deal with
orgy.
Lawrence Fishburne. And
That movie's apparently not good, but I think
No, that's a great movie.
fucking
Which
cool.
movie?
Event Horizon.
Oh, I've heard good things. Never watched it.
Great
It's
movie.
neat. You should watch it.
So sometime during their slow expansion, because they did, the old ones had this warp drive technology. They were the first ones to discover faster than light travel. Were the old ones. These Necrontyr did not have it. They're
just wanna
literally
say,
like stasis crypts and like go out into the universe.
I think your dog farted on me, and then like bowed her head in shame just now.
Really? I've never noticed her fart.
It smells so bad
Oh.
where I'm sitting right now, and your dog is now just like shamefully pointing her
Yeah,
head.
she's just staring straight at the ground. Where
It's okay, because
Yeah.
she was just begging me to pet her for a minute.
that fart came from the warp area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the stink of the chaos realm.
Yeah.
So during their slow expansion, the Necrontyr encounter an ancient species far older than any other in existence in the known galaxy. Can you guys guess who it might be?
Oh, the
Oh,
spirits.
it's a space ghost.
Yeah, the spirits.
Star ghost.
No, it's the old ones.
Oh.
Oh,
Tricked
the
ya.
lizard guys.
So they find the lizard people.
Did you try to do this to us, or?
It was like a 50-50. I was like, statistically, one of them will get it.
Yeah.
Well, we were both wrong.
You're both so keen on them meeting the space ghosts, but they haven't found them yet.
Oh.
They need a reason to find them because the space ghosts can't interact with them in any way. So
Okay.
I just keep giving too much credit to the space ghosts, thinking they could figure out a way to interact with us.
maybe they'll get there. Who knows? So these old ones, they were absolute masters of forms of energy the Necrontyr could not even conceive of, let alone wield, the warp. These old ones had long ago conquered the secrets of immortality.
Wow.
Yet they refused to share the gift of eternal life with the Necrontyr.
Fair.
Who yet bore the curse.
Very desperately needs a little bit of help.
They bore the curse of the bitter star that they were born under. So their bodies are ravaged. Their entire culture and species is just ravaged and plagued by death, like constant death.
I've said it before in the podcast. I'll say it again. Immortality, if you're always suffering, not good.
No.
So I think that it's an okay move by
the fact we're allowed to die is very
like,
nice.
Yeah.
They have the keys to like a perfect, healthy, beautiful, good life. All disease cured. Everything's good. You have faster than light travel.
Yeah.
Nothing's a problem ever. The colonization of much of the galaxy by the reptilian mystics had been immeasurably swifter and more expansive than that of the Necrontyr.
That's like something someone would say in a conspiracy. The reptilian mystics.
Yeah, those reptilian mystics. They're fucking running everything. Did you know that the reptiles that run everything have discovered the secrets of immortality and faster than light travel?
Speaking of which, there's a YouTube channel called Spirit Science, which is all about ancient society, lizard people, Egyptian god shit.
Yeah. It all started with Warhammer 40K.
Yeah,
you got it.
All these theories about lizard people being the oldest and wisest of races.
I didn't realize my channel blew up, guys. I'm leaving robots.
No, it's so fucking funny. It's all about this ancient society, ancient civilization bullshit. It's exactly like these reptile people.
Sorry, I'm burping.
He thinks the moon is hollow.
Yeah, I know. They all think that. They think the Earth is hollow. They think the moon is hollow. They think the Earth is flat. They think the Earth is in a dome. They muddy the waters a lot. One of them thinks that the moon is hollow. Another one thinks that the moon is fake.
Where are we in the story, though? Where are we in the story? We were at...
they found the old ones.
The old ones, they have immortality. They don't want to give it to the decrepit
Necrontyr.
death ones.
Yeah. And the Necrontyr are like, fuck you
Jesus
guys,
is a
man.
lizard businessman, and he doesn't want to give
exactly.
a little bit of change.
He doesn't want to
these
heal
poor
those
decrepit
leopards.
people being burned to death by a star.
Okay,
not letting
prediction.
heal those
I'll make a
lepers.
prediction. So deaf people have nothing to lose. The old ones are on the top of the world, so the deaf people start to attack the old ones and just go fucking apeshit with their metal suits. I don't know how. I don't know how the
Fantasy football James just fucking making predictions.
I don't know how the spirit gods fit into this though. Yeah.
So amongst all this, the Necrontyr began a period of infighting known as the Wars of Secession.
Okay.
It's possible that if this had continued any longer than it would have, they would have entirely wiped themselves out.
Wow.
As many other species had before them. So they're like tearing themselves apart.
Okay.
We still have the Silent King, Shaddek, and we have the Triarch, and they need a solution.
Yep.
They're like, our people are fucking... Civil war is looming in our country.
Yeah.
What do? You declare war on Iraq. No, the old
Gettysburg
ones. Sorry,
Address.
What did I say? Yeah. So you declare war on the old
Space
ones,
Iraq.
and you unify all your people against a common foe. So you have factions splitting off, fighting against you, and you tell them, we're going to war with the old ones. When we sue for peace and they give us, the secrets to immortality, if you don't join us now, you guys are out of the deal. So all these people who are plagued by short lives and it's their bitter curse, they're like, fuck yeah, okay, we're on board. Like, let
Necro 6 pool the old ones.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's Blizzard term for going all in when you have a very short time frame.
Yeah, exactly.
So you said 6 pooled?
Yeah, that's you on 6 supply you make a spawning pool as
It's a Zerg
Zerg.
rush.
Oh, okay,
you
it's a Zerg
throw
rush.
all your Zerglings in at the beginning. But
There's different types of Zerg rushes, Peter. There's the 6 pool. You got your 8 pool. You got your 10 pool. You got your 13 pool. And you got your standard hat, then 16 pool.
Yeah, I said let's not talk about too many other games when we started, but then I couldn't resist.
I was gonna say we throw for people who 2 of 3 like Blizzard games.
Yeah,
we routinely throw mad shade at Blizzard.
You got
I like Blizzard.
Gotta keep them
I
honest.
play all their games.
Yeah, keep them modest.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And we'll do it. James and I are doing it right
Take
now.
them down a peg, man.
So the Triarch declares war on the old ones for all of Necrontyr kind, the only known species in the galaxy to prove a credible threat to the Necron. So they had discovered other species like the Eldar and all this stuff, but they said, like, if we go to war with the Eldar, like a lot of the other factions of the Necron tier won't come join us because they'll be like, no, fuck you, fight your stupid little war, and like they're not even like a big threat or whatever. But now they say like,
have the baby war.
That's it. But now they're like, oh shit, the old ones are coming after us. Like, oh my god. And they're like, everyone was like, oh fuck, the old ones are coming after us. Okay, like for the good of Necron kind, we all better band up. You know what I mean? So with Shattuck, the last Silent King, leading them, they unite in a hateful front of war they could not hope to win, not on their own.
Oh my god, the spirit gods, I
swear to God, if this isn't about the fucking Star Ghosts.
Yeah,
well, I'm not talking about the Star Ghosts anymore, guys. No, I'm kidding. Of course. Why did I talk about it? Why was it? I told you to put a pin in it.
Yeah.
You guys keep taking the pin out.
So they're the Star Gods are the nukes because they actually feed off nuclear physics, right?
It's Gandhi's a Star God.
Yeah. Gandhi from Civ 5 is a Star God, yeah.
Gandhi from all the Civs.
From all the Civs, yeah. All the way back to Civ 1.
Civ 3, there's a problem. Everyone can stack on one. You put your whole army on one hexagon, and then someone would come over, and just see a soldier, and anyways, there would be a whole army there. Yeah. I realized I'm talking about Civ.
I love that last minute realization of that.
Wait a second.
That little delightful story about Civ 3.
Oh man,
it was a great Civ.
Gandhi is
Civ 4 was still probably the best Civ.
The Necrons. Necron 99 finds the Star Gods.
Necron 99 of Wizards
Gandhi.
by Ralph
Bashki.
So wait, tie this back in. So the old ones, they're in a position of power. The Necrons are giving their all and killing themselves, and now the Star Gods step in. Right? Is this where we're at?
They haven't stepped in yet. We're at the point where the Necrons are throwing themselves at it, but like, there's no hope. All like the Eldar who are around at this time are watching it like, yo, y'all gonna get fucked up.
Okay.
Yo, y'all, it's like your really, 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 really drunk friend that picks a fight with 6 bouncers. You know what I mean?
Let him do it.
And you're like, you can't step in because you're gonna get your ass kicked too.
Fuck that.
So you're like, damn, dude.
Yeah. Well,
you're just watching.
And the Eldar are just a Protoss off on the sidelines. They have
they're the
drunk.
They're the sober friend that's watching their drunk friend.
Or the less drunk friend. Arguably, you can still be not too drunk to pick a fight with the Star Ghost.
I don't want to discriminate against less drunk people.
No.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
so
we're a very inclusive podcast about people who aren't that drunk.
Yeah. Yeah. So
what the fuck was that? If you would be my co-host.
Okay, so I'm forgetting the name of them, but they're throwing them at the old Necrons, throwing themselves at the old.
Yeah,
old
they've
people.
gone to war because they had a civil war going on and they had to break it up.
Okay. Yeah.
So they said, everybody unite against a common foe.
The Lizard Men.
And they picked the Lizard Men because the Lizard ones were the only ones that posed a real threat to the Necron tier.
Okay, that's where we are.
So the Necron tier technology was no match for the old ones' grasp of the Immaterium, and they were outmaneuvered by what were called warp gates, which is instantaneous, faster than light travel. So it's literally like, oh, our army's here. Like, oh no, it's behind you. Get fucked up. And the Necron tier just don't possess these capabilities.
Yeah.
Amidst generations of devastating losses in an unwinnable war, with the Necron tier becoming little more than a nuisance to the old ones, the old factions began to fight amongst themselves again.
Okay.
So it did get to a point where the old ones could have literally just crushed them all, but they just stopped caring. They became such an insignificant threat they were just like, whatever.
Okay. This is like the pop-up ad every time you open your Chrome, but you're like, I'm not going to figure it out now.
FBI watching you.
Yeah.
So the Second War of Secessions began, tenfold more ruinous than the last because their population numbers have dwindled by so much, and they're just so much more bitter at this point because now this war that was supposed to unify them, and it's been generations, so like, you know, hundreds of years of this war, and they just haven't won a single like major conflict, basically. And the Triarch searches desperately for a way to hold on to their rule because now everyone's breaking off. Everyone's saying, fuck you. This is stupid.
What's the Triarch again?
The Triarch is the leaders of the Necron.
That's the Silent King and his 2 homies.
Exactly.
Okay,
exactly. Yeah. And his 2 cronies, you might say. Take that, Triarch.
Brought him back down.
I was hoping we'd all just stay silent for a little while.
Those are the best.
I love to yes and, but to not do anything is great.
It's its own form of yes and.
Yeah, exactly.
I was there. Yeah. So in the Book of Mournful Night.
The Book of Mournful Night.
Held under guard in the Eldar craft world known as the Black Library.
Cool.
tells in the Book of Mournful Night, it tells the raw hatred that the Necrontyr held for the Old Ones sang out across space, acting as a beacon the star gods could not ignore.
All right.
So they're pissed at this point. And there is a lot of different theories on how the Necrontyr originally came into contact with the star gods.
Is this the one thing that Warhammer people haven't figured out yet?
Well, it's like every race has a different opinion on it.
Okay.
So there's one that says they stumbled across something. It was like chance. There's this one that says like their hatred pervaded the solar system by so much. There was another one that says like a star god came across them, saw their hatred for the Old Ones, and saw how they could use it. This is my favorite one. It's what the Eldar believe. And it's just they're so fucking angry at everything that like that energy was basically picked up by a star god.
Oh,
who said like, "Hey, fuck!" Like
they steamed. It's like they found somebody who was like fucking so steamed
salty.
up, and there's they're like, you smell that?
They found
somebody's blood boiling right now.
They found one 14-year-old kid playing CS:GO.
Yeah, exactly.
Just
like 14-year-old Russian kid.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just, look at me, yeah. So, and I just love that. I love this one because it talks about the Black Library, which is the Eldar have what are called craft worlds, which is they just built a world.
Cool.
Basically, and they have one world is called the Black Library, which is just an entire world, which is just a repository of knowledge, basically.
Okay. That 14-year-old CSGO player also has a Minecraft server like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There you go. So the raw energy of the stars made animate. The Necrontyr called them the Catan, star gods in their tongue.
Settlers thereof.
Yeah, exactly. This does predate Settlers of Catan, but hey, who knows? It's C''TAN, and it means star gods in the Necron tongue.
Okay.
Dispersed across areas larger than whole planets, their consciousness too vast for humanoids to comprehend, they somehow managed to communicate with the Necrontyr, who set about building them physical shells of necrodermis to occupy.
Okay.
So
it was the star ghosts that did this for the Necrontyr. They were like, okay, guys, we have tasted the sweet wisps of your rage through the material plane,
all of time and space,
now we are going to give you guys a more durable shell.
No.
So as to not be such bitches.
No. The star gods want to interact with the physical world. They said, build us a shell that we can climb into and interact.
Oh.
So the star gods are becoming manifest now.
Okay.
Through this stuff called necrodermis.
Okay.
This living metal, or dead metal, as Peter might call it. Who knows?
Well, it's dead skin.
It's dead skin.
I'm pretty sure Necro is dead.
These Necrons need a lot of lubriderm because they have very, very dead skin. A lot of dead skin.
If you have a dust allergy, it's just as bad as living right next to that Chernobyl state.
Yeah.
Great thing about necrodermis is very porous, doubles as a pumice stone.
Ooh.
And you just shave off all that dead skin. You know what I'm saying?
The bottoms of your feet are going to be so soft.
I gotta be honest, like peeling off a big old piece of skin, that's satisfying. So they must have good lives.
It's like it must feel like heroin.
I know they deal with a lot of flesh-eating bacteria.
Yep.
And like sometimes they'll try and peel off the piece of dead skin, and just a big chunk of flesh will come off. But good life, because they can peel off a lot of dead skin. You know?
No, it's satisfying.
Got a hangnail. You pull off a 4-inch strip of your arm. You know, big deal.
Yeah. So these star gods, the Catan, climb into these shells. The deliciously focused trickles of electromagnetic energy given off by the physical bodies suddenly all around them awaken a new hunger in the Catan, very unlike the one they had once stated using the nourishing but essentially tasteless energy of the stars.
Wait a second.
Star energy is very bland. Needs a little salt.
I was gonna say
a little sage,
little bit of salt.
They need the paprika gods to come on by.
Yo, who's that? It's the spice guys.
Spice must flow, man.
Yeah.
So the necro. What was the original name for them?
Necrontyr.
The Necrontyr became vessels for the star gods.
No, they built vessels.
They built vessels for the star gods. Do they not wear these suits?
Nope, not yet.
Oh, okay. So they basically
they're still
from
people.
From what I understand,
or flesh people, as Jamie
no blacksmith I've ever gone to go see has been wearing the armor that I asked for.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
they'll wear the layman's clothes.
Yeah,
exactly. And when they build you armor, it's made out of something.
What do you want to do?
Living
you
metal.
want to build some sharp metal?
It's something known as living metal. It's in the shape of a ziggurat, and you just climb. You pour your star energy inside, And hey, there you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've all played
I
Skyrim.
feel like smoking a cigarette right now. That's the way you send it away.
Hey, bud, got a zig?
Exactly.
So, unbeknownst to the Necrontyr, the first star god that they came across was known as the Deceiver among his own kind.
Naturally.
Big red flag. Big red flag when your homies call you the Deceiver.
Yeah.
Right? But they didn't know that because they didn't really speak the tongue.
That's it.
You know, they're kind of tourists.
Yeah.
But 20-year-old to 24-year-old women still love him.
Yeah. They didn't pick up a whole lot of information when his particles passed through their bodies.
No, that's it. Yeah.
He didn't leave a card when he
No.
like went through them. Yeah.
He just showed. He's a tourist. He's only there for a couple weeks. He's like, oh wait, which way to beach, my friends?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know.
He has a little phrase book.
Yeah.
Exactly. That
Which
just like
way?
floats up in front of you on like a beam of light.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it flips pages.
My name is Dada Saver.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Dada Saver. Nice to meet you.
I'll just call you Thad.
Yeah.
My name.
You could call me Thad. Yes. Which way to beach? Also, can you
Decker.
build me body out of living metal?
Yeah. Well, his name would be like, my name is Dekver. Yeah. It's like, yeah, okay, hello, Dekver. Yeah, Dekver, he helped me possess robots.
Oh yeah, we got you. We got
make a robot.
We got robots in the back.
We make robots out of meat over here.
Catch up with one of those.
I love robots.
So this was the first one to
Meat robot.
This was the first one to meet with the Silent King, and he convinces them, the Silent King, to return to war with the Old Ones.
Okay,
Without
so here-
saying a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just staring. Yeah, that doesn't translate to podcast, but I was.
I nodded at you. That's true. I'm sorry. Yeah. Stupid Peter.
No, he did open up his guidebook. He practiced on Duolingo for a week and a half, and got just enough conversational Necrontyr to get out.
Where
a
is the library?
Yeah.
I think it's interesting that the Silent King actually exists, because you'd think a king you never see would be like this immaterial figurehead of a cult that wasn't a real thing anymore, and eventually someone would go up, spin his throne around, and discover it was completely empty.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
They're like someone who shines a flashlight on it, and they're like walking through an old dusty room.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
The throne's been empty this whole time. Like,
Yeah. There's just like one old man.
it's puppets all the way down.
I don't know.
No, he wasn't like he was silent in the way that he didn't like
Talk to people.
No, people saw him and he would speak to people. It's just he didn't directly engage with people.
Okay.
He would pitch an idea, and then the two people would pass that idea
That's
on
fair.
to the
Okay.
people.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, he convinces, or the Deceiver convinces the Silent King to return to war with the Old Ones. Who,
Okay.
After a Necrontyr year of arguing among the Triarch, agree. So the Necrontyr are going back to war with the Old Ones after like fully. Let's load up, grab the guns. We're going back into full military production.
Okay, guys, I understand what you're coming from, but
Yeah.
like the last time we fought the immortal lizard people, we lost. But this time, a ghost told me that we should try again.
Well, you know, the economy has been in shambles for years now, ever since, you know, the last war. So maybe it is time to start a
Maybe
new
it would
war.
be time to start a new
I'm
war.
a lizard person.
Yeah,
Oh, sorry. You guys look like you're having fun.
I'm a lizard person. Hope those Necrons here don't try anything.
That does sound like what a lizard man would sound like.
Yeah, exactly.
Boy, that sure do love being immortal.
Yeah. I feel like if you were immortal, though, real talk, you would probably speak much slower, right? Like one of our years might be a sentence to them, and it wouldn't make a difference.
Oh yeah, well it's like you have all the time in the.
How fast do lobsters speak?
As
Oh yeah, that's true. They don't really die.
as fast as sound travels through water.
Which is
They-
3-4 times faster than an air.
They don't have lungs, to my knowledge.
That's
They
right.
can't make noise.
That's why you've never taken the time to listen to a lobster talk so fast. They have so much to say.
Yeah,
Just shut the fuck up, get in the pot. Yeah,
come
get in the pot.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here for the spaghetti.
Yeah. Who
Hope they brought a lot of lobster spaghetti.
That's a big dish in Montreal where we may or may not have visited, but anyways.
Lobster spaghetti?
Yeah, Joe Beef. It's one of like those places that you look up and it's like lobster
Holy
spaghetti.
fuck, that sounds so good.
Yeah, it's really good.
I went to Banquise.
It's so unrelated though.
That's
Sorry.
very odd.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. It's just very odd. I've never heard of it.
Yeah, lobster.
I've been to Montreal. I've never heard of lobster
I've had
spaghetti
it. I've
before.
had it, dude. It's really good.
It's really good.
It sounds really
Yeah,
good.
It's really good.
Hang on, I have this follow-up question about lobster spaghetti.
Okay.
It's quick answer.
Hit us,
Okay,
hit
is
us.
it just lobster or is it lobster and ground beef?
No ground beef. It's lobster only, and it's like it looks almost like a rosé sauce, but it's like this creamy sauce with lobster.
They have cream sauce.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Necrontyr.
That's very important.
The Necrontyr are going back to war. They've run out of lobster spaghetti. The old ones have lobster spaghetti,
and they have an eternal supply of lobster spaghetti.
They have these reserves of lobster spaghetti, and they're like, we gotta go get it.
I'm just imagining like this, like fucking immortal lizard god, like outside of a factory, this big ass tank
just lobster
with
spaghetti.
like a hose going up. It just says lobster spaghetti.
Yeah. As far as foods go, it feels like the cheapest food with the most expensive food. Like it's a Necron bred with an old one.
Yeah.
Well, because I have a meal called Poor People Pasta, which
you've mentioned it.
Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind. Yeah, it's like that with lobster.
It's like baked spaghetti.
Yeah.
So, the powers of the Catan manifested in the physical world were godlike, and they were soon revered as gods, even as they feasted upon the life energies of mortal slaves. So, they've come among these people, and they've shown off, like, hey, dude, look, I can make fire come out of my hand. And all the Necrontyr are like, ooh.
2 card tricks, and all of a sudden they can enslave all of humanity.
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
David Blade and Chris Angel show up.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
like, build us some bodies, and we're going to feed off some slaves. Is that cool?
Yeah.
They go to their king, and it's like, you guessed my card once.
Yeah.
Do it again.
Do it again.
And then he does it again. He's like, oh, no.
This is our new god. That's a Chris Angel, the new god.
Yeah.
So armed
Of the Necrons.
So they built the Necrontyr a bunch of new technology, and armed with this and instantaneous fast and light travel to match the old ones, the Necrontyr prepared to begin their conflict anew. But the Catan offered them immortality in the form of the same metallic shells the Catan now wore.
Okay.
So they basically use these powers and say, like, hey, you guys did this for us. We can do the same thing to you guys.
Are they selling their own products back to them?
Yeah, basically. Like, I like your design.
That's some Chinese bullshit right there.
But I can do it better, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Speaking of which, guys, if you guys want magazine subscriptions, I got great deals.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I can sell.
Speaking
these
of which, though.
Yeah.
Speaking of what?
Yeah. I very much like the only thing that I got to see over the sound foam was just like Ethan's very concerned
Very
squint.
confused eyes. I'm like, because you said speaking of which, but when did magazine subscriptions come
It's
into
because
this
you can
conversation?
sell your own shit, basically. Yeah, you can make money off things almost like a pyramid.
Self-published.
But that was it.
Oh, okay.
It's not funny when you explain it, but
I missed it. I'm sorry. So,
The idea was that,
yeah.
these Necrontyr are basically fed into a meat grinder.
like literally or
It's something called
figuratively.
It's something called biotransference process, and they go into what's called a biofurnace. The Catan linger around the sites of these biofurnaces and just take in all the swirling bioenergy. So it's like literally like they walk in and like all this life force just kicks out of the machine, and they're just like all around it like
Okay, they've just got like
out.
Do they just have like a big hookah full of like dissolving, like of dissolving bodies?
They just got like garbage bags and they're just like swirling in all the ash. And it's like,
Yeah, that's
sucking it out of a straw.
they're like hobos huffing glue.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like all in a bag.
Yeah.
Like
my picture is like a zombie going into the top of one of those classic meat grinders where you have to turn it like an old pencil sharpener.
yeah.
And it goes in and just
yeah.
the front, like
The fact that you call it
That
an
is
old
pretty much exactly
pencil
it.
sharpener makes me sad because it's the only pencil sharpener I've ever known.
Yeah. What is that called?
Pencil
it's not a
sharpenings these
lever.
days, Bluetooth.
It's
you don't
a
even have
crank.
to put your
It's
pencil
a crank.
in.
Yeah, crank.
Yeah.
A crank.
Yeah.
It's a
Pencil sharpenings these days, Bluetooth. You don't even need to put your pencil in.
Yeah, you just like touch the app on your phone, boom, pencil
boom,
sharpen.
sharp
So you
pencil.
don't even have to touch the pencil.
2018, baby.
Sony makes $1.
Yeah.
Sony makes $1 for every fucking HB pencil.
So it was only when the Silent King himself emerged from the biotransference process that he looked upon what had become of his people and saw the awful truth of the pact that he had made. Because it turns out all that joie de vivre was just gone out of his people.
That means a love of life or joy of life
Yeah.
for the non-French folks.
It's a common expression in English as
No,
well.
shut up.
Yeah. I don't understand.
James, you have a certain je ne sais quoi.
That means I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have a certain I love you. I will give you that. So
We
yeah,
speak German on this podcast.
typical king of his people. He's like, oh, this is fine. Everyone's going to the biofurnaces. They're coming out like shells of their old selves. Everything's good. Everything's fine. Then he goes through. He's like, what?
He's got
What
like
have I done?
He's got like a swinging door scene where he's just like, done good. Like, pushes
Yeah.
the door open, it, like, swings open, swings shut, swings open again, he comes back out, and the entire world's in chaos.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, no!
No, he comes, like, everybody's going into the swinging door, and, like, he's like, oh, it's fine, it's good. Then he walks through the swinging door, he's like, I can't get an erection anymore, man, what's going on? Everything's changed.
Told you I had confidence.
I'm sorry, Sharek.
Yeah. Oh wait, you're not talking about me? Oh, never mind.
No.
Sorry.
So, as Sharek watched the Catan feast on the life essence of his people, he realized the terrible depth of his mistake. In many ways, he felt better than he had in decades. The countless aches and uncertainties of organic life now behind him. His new machine body was far mightier than the frail form he had tolerated for so long, and his thoughts were swifter and clearer than they had ever been.
Wow.
Yet
Because he's a computer now.
Yet there was an emptiness gnawing at his mind, an inexpressible hollowness of spirit that defied rational explanation.
Dude, this guy's on Adderall.
Yeah, right. In that moment, he knew with cold certainty that the price of physical immortality had been the loss of his soul. With great sorrow, the Silent King beheld the fate he had brought upon his people. The Necrontyr were now but a memory, and the soulless, undying Necrons had been reborn in their place.
Wow.
Okay.
That's the story of the Necrons, guys.
That's deep, man.
Yeah.
Oof.
And that is like 1/10 of the Wikipedia entry on Necrons.
Yeah, this is... Oh, so I know this already, but if I say, what would you do in that situation? Immortal or soul? Ethan would say, I want to live forever. I would say, I want to keep my soul.
Okay, well, last
Peter
time we
would
had this
say-
discussion, it wasn't giving up our souls as a price. But
So?
I would still consider it for sure.
Yeah, I know, yeah. Ethan wants to live forever. That's this whole thing.
Think
What
about
you,
think
Peter?
about how many old ones I could kill.
You want to live forever, or do you want to keep your soul?
Oh, I mean, like,
You could off a lot of lizards.
wait a
If you had
second. Yeah, I
immortality.
could fuck up a lot of lizards. That's tempting. Fuck lizards, but, like, would I remember things in the same way if I gave my soul up? Like,
You would.
in that...
You'd be a Talana Mass. Oh, wait, you don't get that reference. James gets
No, it's
yeah, I was gonna say...
that
I was gonna say,
Undead.
what?
reference.
Yeah. Basically, undead caveman, sort of.
Who
Yeah,
did
but,
the
like-
same thing. They had an immortal enemy that they swore against, went through a ritual, came out the other
Yeah.
side. Exactly like this.
Steven
It makes you wonder,
Erickson.
did Steven Erickson play
Steven
Warhammer 40K?
Erickson. There's like basically the Jaghut, who are the
Orcs.
and they are but super smart solitary orcs. Nobody cares about this, but anyways. And there's like Talanomas, who were like natives basically. They were like in touch with the world. They were in touch with all the animals, and they hated the Jaghut. They performed a ritual which meant they could live forever, but
At the cost of their souls.
the cost of their souls. Everything they used to enjoy turned to ash in their mouth. Like if you liked
It's
anything,
like
it's
Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
pirates.
Yeah.
Every
But,
time
like,
they eat an apple.
but, like, the question is,
No good.
if I lost my soul, would I even care that everything was gone?
they do. It's a lot of us do.
Okay, so fuck
great
that.
question.
I don't want that.
But the majority of the Necrons seem to not notice.
Then, sure, fine.
The Silent King noticed, but
Fuck him. I don't want to be him,
Not
but I'll,
necessarily every
but I'll be just be like fucking Johnny every Necron. So like, well, who gives a shit, right?
Johnny every Necron working hard for
know,
the Necron peoples, yeah.
He goes to the star firm.
Yeah,
or whatever.
Johnny Necron does his part for the war effort. Do
Yeah,
you?
do you?
You would forget your 100-year to 400-year life. I don't know how long their years are, but I'll give them 400 years max. Right?
They're immortal now.
They're immortal. But let's say before they became immortal, you would have so much time before you were supposed to die.
Yeah, they
Right?
had like
you become
20
immortal,
years.
you would adapt to it. You would adapt to it eventually. You would
But
not
they never
feel,
did.
Yeah.
That's
didn't.
that's the story of the Necrons.
Yeah. So they still have dreams. Like they wake up like,
Yeah.
oh man, I just had sex and felt it.
What do they look
Yeah.
like?
like after the before the fact, there's no images of them. Like who knows what they look like? There's only like histories of them. After the fact, they're the robot people with the coffin-shaped heads, and they have like these big glowing green sticks. It's like gray-green motif.
All right.
I'll show you some pictures. I think they're really cool.
Well,
I always said if I didn't play Tyranids, I would play Tau, and if I didn't play Tau, I would play Necron.
Oh, Tau are the robots, eh?
Tau are robots, yeah.
I know.
They're
I know.
like super sleek robots, though. These are like
Yeah, I know.
ancient.
I've
These
seen the
guys
Tau.
look like ancient robots.
I was seeing a girl for a while who had a big collection of Tau figurines for some reason.
Yeah.
Ethan's always about disposable units, though. Like,
Do you
Like-
just
like-
do you just hate life? Ethan?
Yeah, that's it.
no, he loves his own life, but he loves having a lot of little lives
To throw away.
No. Well, that's what I meant. That's why I said life, not your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No, I do hate life in general. Yeah.
It's just a general disdain. For
If
for
there was a
beating
way
hearts.
for me to get you guys killed for my own gain, I would do it.
You can put
Lore
$1,000
boys.
ad. You could put
Yeah.
$1,000 ad on Craigslist.
Yeah.
Ethan, I hate life. Lore boys,
Mhm.
out. Just like right there.
So,
Yes.
Peter,
Yeah.
if we're looking for you on the internet, where can we find you?
At Pete O'Donohue
And
on the Twitter, and Old Aunt Peter on the Instagram,
very good.
and at twitch.tv/theloreboys once-ish a week.
I'll be there once to twice a week.
Yeah.
Great job, Peter. I'm very proud of you.
Jimbo.
So Jimbo Slice over here. My name's James Miller. You can find me at James the Miller on Facebook. Add me on my personal account. I'll talk to you and I'll play games with you. JAYMILLK64. That's me on PSN. Add me up. We'll play one of the mini games I own. And Ethan, where could we find you?
You can find me at Ethan Deadman on a bunch of stuff. I'm a gendered pronoun on Steam. My battle tag is ETH Deadman, number sign 1830, I think.
That's not easy.
No,
I'm one-armed man on
the,
Steam.
The battle tag IDs is like ridiculous.
Yeah,
but it's still multiple people can have the same.
If anyone's on Blizzard, I'm JAYMIL JMill 1387, and I remember that from when I got in 2010.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, so Ethan.
For all our Lore Boys Prime subscribers out there,
Yep.
if you the first 10 people who donate or subscribe to Lore Boys Prime, get to join the committee, and the committee is there to decide how exactly I am going to throw away Jamie and Peter's life. So it's a pretty big gig. Obviously, we're going to be 11 people, you 10 plus me. So the votes will always,
if you
go
love
one
me,
way.
go drug overdose.
Yeah, if you love Jamie, it's going to be drug overdose. So if it's going to be up to me, it's going to be Jamie's going to be so sober that he dies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll just get me to stop drinking for a day.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll die.
Toxic shock syndrome. And that constitutes a Lore Boys
Dead.
out. Goodbye.